Many years ago, society often talks about notable figures and their influence, but some stories about their personal lives fade away over time. Today, we focus on Leslie Howard, an actor whose talent left a lasting impression. While he is remembered for his captivating roles and his contributions to film, whispers and rumors surrounded his relationships off-screen. Some people claimed he had a unique charm that women found irresistible, sparking curiosity about his romantic life. Interestingly, there were hints that women often wondered if Leslie Howard was good in bed, adding a layer of mystery to his persona. Stories circulated that he possessed a certain allure that went beyond his acting skills, making him a subject of fascination among those who admired him. His sudden death, taken in the wind as the plane he was traveling in crashed, only deepened the mystery surrounding him. Despite decades passing, the questions about his personal life, especially his relationships and intimacy, continue to intrigue many. Rumors of his romantic side, whether true or exaggerated, add to the mystique that surrounds Leslie Howard, making him a figure who remains vivid in people's memories. Growing up in Upper Norwood, London, Leslie Howard Steiner was born to Lillian and Ferdinand Steiner, who were of Hungarian Jewish descent. His early years were shaped by the vibrant environment of London, and he received his education at Allen's School in the city. This school provided him with the foundational knowledge and skills that he would carry into his later life. Before choosing a career in acting, Howard worked as a bank clerk in Dulwich, where he gained initial experience in a professional setting. However, as the world was engulfed in the chaos of World War I, Howard decided to serve his country by enlisting in the British Army. His decision to join the military marked a significant turning point in his life, demonstrating his sense of duty and patriotism. After his service, Howard's interest in the arts grew, leading him to pursue a career in acting. Despite his humble beginnings and early work in banking, his talent and determination paved the way for a successful acting career. His early life was marked by a mix of education, work, and military service that shaped his character and future achievements. Throughout these years, Leslie Howard laid the groundwork for what would become an esteemed career in film and theater, earning recognition and admiration for his talents. After reaching the age of 21, Leslie Howard chose to serve his country by voluntarily enlisting in the British Army's Inns of Court Officer Training Corps, demonstrating his sense of duty and patriotism. He later transferred to the 31st Royal Hampshire Yeomanry, where he served as part of the cavalry unit. However, his military career was cut short when he resigned from active duty in 1916, perhaps seeking different challenges or driven by a desire to pursue his passions. Following his departure from the Army, Leslie Howard shifted his focus to the world of theater, which had always intrigued him. He began performing in regional tours, gaining experience, and honing his acting skills in smaller venues across the country. His dedication and talent soon led him to the more prominent London stage, where he attracted attention and built a reputation as a promising actor. His career stepped into the spotlight when he made his way to the United States, where he found success on Broadway theater, gaining popularity among American audiences. Howard's journey from military service to the theater showcases his versatility and determination, leading to a distinguished acting career that would eventually make him a well-known figure in the entertainment world. His early experiences in the military and his subsequent shift to acting shaped his perspective and contributed to his depth as an artist, influencing his performances throughout his career. Initially, Leslie Howard made a name for himself by excelling on Broadway, where his talent and stage presence drew admiration from audiences and critics alike. His success on stage helped him transition into Hollywood films, where he continued to showcase his acting skills. Among his early movie appearances were roles in films like Outward Bound in 1930, a film that demonstrated his ability to portray complex characters in a compelling manner, and The Animal Kingdom in 1933, which further established his reputation as a talented film actor. Despite his growing fame in the film industry, Howard's work on stage remained a significant part of his career. When the time came to work on the film adaptation of Gone with the Wind, Howard was initially hesitant, but agreed to participate because of a promise made by producer David Selznick. Selznick had assured Howard he would produce a film called Intermezzo, which was important to him. Because of this promise, Howard reluctantly agreed to take part in Gone with the Wind, even though he did not read Margaret Mitchell's novel or rehearse lines before filming. His approach to the role was pragmatic, focusing more on fulfilling his commitments rather than extensive preparation. These choices reflect his professional attitude and his sense of obligation to the promises he made in the industry. His involvement in Gone with the Wind remains a notable aspect of his career, even if he approached the role with some reluctance, and his work on Broadway continued to influence his acting style in Hollywood. Howard's dedication to his craft allowed him to leave a lasting impact on both stage and screen. Firstly, Leslie Howard was often cast in roles that portrayed him as a humble and reflective man. This typecasting gave him a consistent image on screen, but it also caused him frustration because he wanted to be seen in more varied roles that showed a broader range of his talent. He felt limited by the parts he was cast in, and longed for opportunities to play different characters. He confided his feelings to his daughter, expressing his dissatisfaction with the pattern of being labeled as the quiet, modest man. Despite his frustrations with acting, Howard was also deeply concerned about the world around him, especially the threat posed by World War II. He worried about how the war would affect his country, its people, and the future of peace in the world. His fears were genuine, and he often discussed his worries with those close to him. Tragically, his life was cut short during the war when his plane was shot down by German forces. Howard was on a flight during a time of danger for many civilians and military personnel, and his death marked a tragic end to his life. His concerns about the war, combined with his frustrations about being typecast, show a man who cared deeply about his work and his country. Despite his fame, Leslie Howard experienced personal struggles and fears, which he shared with loved ones, revealing his inner thoughts and feelings. His tragic death served as a reminder of the dangerous times faced by many during the war, and the loss of a talented actor whose life was affected by the conflicts of his era. After a successful career in acting, Leslie Howard's death became a tragic event that drew much attention and overshadowed his achievements in the entertainment world. His sudden passing left fans and the public more interested in how he died rather than the work he had done on stage and screen. Many people remember his contributions to movies and theater, but the story of his death became more prominent, making his legacy feel complicated and emotional. Besides his professional life, Leslie Howard was also known for having many romantic affairs. He was involved with well-known actresses like Tallulah Bankhead and Merle Oberon, both of whom were famous in their own rights. These relationships continued despite the fact that Howard was married to Ruth Martin, which added a layer of personal complexity to his life. His romantic adventures were often discussed in the public eye, and they influenced how some people saw him as a person, not just as an actor. His marriage to Ruth Martin was an important part of his personal life, yet it did not stop him from having these affairs. All of these aspects of his personal life, his romantic relationships, together with the tragedy of his death, helped shape the way people remember Leslie Howard today. The circumstances around his death, which occurred during World War II, added to the mystique and sadness that surrounded his life, but it also tended to overshadow his artistic achievements. Still, his work continues to be appreciated by fans and historians who remember his talent and influence in the world of entertainment. The way he lived, loved, and died remains a subject of interest for many, contributing to his complex and enduring legacy. After reviewing the details about Leslie Howard, it is clear that Ruth Martin played a crucial part in his life, serving as his wife and key supporter. She often acted as a protective figure, shielding him from the advances or attention of other women, and was a constant source of emotional support for him. Their relationship was built on a strong foundation of loyalty and companionship, and Ruth Martin's role in his personal life was significant in providing stability amid the demands of his acting career. Despite her presence in his life, Leslie Howard also maintained a long-standing affair with Violet Cunnington. This relationship began around 1938, a year when Howard was involved in the filming of the movie Pygmalion. It appears that his connection with Violet Cunnington was enduring, lasting over a period of time, and became a noteworthy part of his personal history. The affair suggests complexity in Howard's private life, contrasting with his public persona as an accomplished actor. Even as he balanced these relationships, Ruth Martin's support remained an important aspect of his personal experience, highlighting the often complicated nature of relationships among public figures. Their story reflects the tension between personal attachments and the demands of a career in the spotlight, and how these relationships influenced and shaped Leslie Howard's life during that era. After beginning his career, Leslie Howard became involved in several rumored romantic affairs that captured the attention of the public and the media. One of the most talked about involves his relationship with Spanish actress Conchita Montenegro. It is reported that Howard had a brief fling with Montenegro, and during their time together, Montenegro later claimed that Howard used her connections to the fascist circles in Spain for his own political advantages. These connections and claims added to the complexity of Howard's personal life, as some believe that his interactions with Montenegro were not purely romantic, but also involved political dimensions, reflecting the turbulent political climate of the time. Besides the rumored involvement with Montenegro, Leslie Howard was also said to have had an affair with renowned actress Norma Shearer. This alleged affair reportedly occurred while they were working together on the film The Animal Kingdom. The relationship was said to be intense and passionate, adding to the intrigue surrounding Howard's personal life during his acting career. Despite these rumors, the true extent of their relationship remains uncertain, but it contributed to Howard's reputation for having a complicated and private romantic life. Furthermore, it is believed that Leslie Howard fathered a daughter with Roisin Marcus. This claim, although not widely confirmed, suggests that besides his known public relationships, Howard's personal life included deeper family connections. These stories about his romantic involvements and secret abilities highlight the layered and sometimes mysterious character of Leslie Howard, whose life off-screen was as intriguing as his performances on screen. Throughout his life, Howard's relationships have continued to be a topic of interest, with many speculating about the true nature of his personal affairs and the influence they may have had on his career and life choices. After completing his work in Hollywood and becoming well known for his performances on stage and screen, Leslie Howard traveled to Europe during the early years of World War II. Tragically, his plane was shot down over the Bay of Biscay by German fighters, an incident that broke the agreement Germany had made to respect non-aligned civilian airplanes. This event marked a sudden and tragic end to his life, which had been dedicated not only to acting but also to supporting the war effort. During the war, Howard contributed in ways beyond the silver screen by producing propaganda films for the Ministry of Information. These films aimed to boost morale and encourage support for Britain during difficult times. In addition to his work behind the scenes, Howard made public appeals to the United States, urging the country to join Britain in fighting against the Axis powers. His efforts helped raise awareness and foster support for the Allied cause. Howard's death was a significant loss to the war effort, as he used his talent and influence to motivate others and support the fight against tyranny. Despite his success in entertainment, he chose to dedicate himself to the larger cause of freedom and democracy during these challenging years. His contributions went beyond acting, showing his commitment to the fight for justice and peace. Throughout his life, he continued to inspire many by combining his art with a sense of duty and patriotism. His legacy remains a reminder of how individuals in the arts can play a vital role in times of conflict, and his efforts helped shape the morale and determination of those fighting in the war. His death over the Bay of Biscay signaled not just the loss of a talented actor, but also a person who believed in standing up for what was right, even in the face of danger. His work for the Ministry of Information, his public calls to action, and his sacrifice stand as a testament to his dedication to the cause of freedom during one of the darkest periods in human history. Many theories exist about the plane attack that took Leslie Howard's life, with some suggesting it was a case of mistaken identity. Others believe espionage was involved, as Howard was a well-known figure in Hollywood during a time when tensions between nations were high and spy activities were common. Speculation points to various potential targets, but Howard's presence on the plane has led to questions about whether he was targeted intentionally or caught in a case of mistaken identity. Despite these murky details about his death, Leslie Howard's career in Hollywood was marked by notable success. He starred in popular films such as The Scarlet Pimpernel, a story about a brave hero saving others from danger, showcasing his talent for playing daring and clever characters. He also achieved fame in the film Pygmalion, where he brought to life the story of a professor transforming a flower girl into a lady, highlighting his ability to adapt literary works for the screen. Perhaps most famously, Howard played a key role in the classic film Gone with the Wind, one of the most beloved movies in cinematic history, where he portrayed Ashley Wilkes, a gentleman torn between love and duty in the turbulent South. His achievements extended beyond Hollywood into the world of Broadway, where his stage presence and acting skills earned him critical acclaim and a solid reputation. Through his performances on stage and screen, Leslie Howard became a significant figure in entertainment, admired for his talent and dedication to his craft. The circumstances surrounding his death remain surrounded by mystery, with some believing espionage played a role, while others think it was a tragic accident. No matter the cause, Howard's legacy in film and theater continues to influence and inspire. His actor's career, marked by iconic roles and critical recognition, made him a prominent name in both Hollywood and Broadway circles for many years. His life was a testament to his talent and perseverance, and the questions about his death add an intriguing layer of mystery to his story. His work and the stories he helped bring to life remain cherished parts of film and theater history, standing as a testament to his lasting impact. Leslie Howard was married to Ruth Martin, and together they had 2 children, their daughter Winky and their son Duty. Both chose to become actors like their father, continuing his legacy in the performing arts. Besides acting, Leslie Howard was also a skilled dramatist, which means he wrote plays and scripts. He enjoyed working on the stage not only as an actor, but also as a producer and director. On Broadway, he was involved in putting together shows, managing productions, and bringing stories to life for audiences. His talent extended beyond acting, as he believed in creating and shaping theatrical works. Howard's work behind the scenes helped bring many plays to stage, showing his passion for theater in all its forms. His contributions to the arts made him a respected figure, both as a performer and as a creative mind behind the scenes. His children, inspired by his career, carried on the family tradition of being in the acting world, keeping his memory alive through their own performances. Howard's life was filled with involvement in stage productions, acting, writing, and directing, making him a well-rounded artist and a family man who nurtured a love for the arts in those around him. Leisurely examining Leslie Howard's view on women reveals that he maintained he never actively pursued women, yet he did not turn them away when they showed interest. This stance contributed to his reputation as a ladies' man, inspiring curiosity and speculation among those who admired him. His attitude towards women was often seen as charming and open, but some interpreted his behavior as flirtatious or difficult to define. As a well-known actor, Howard's romantic life became a topic of interest for fans and media alike, further fueling the image of a charismatic man who enjoyed the company of women without being overly aggressive. His sudden death had a profound impact and sparked various questions and investigations that continue to resonate years later. Many fans, experts, and historians have debated the true reasons behind the attack that took his life. Some believe it was tied to political reasons or wartime tensions, while others suggest personal motives might have played a role. Despite numerous inquiries, clear answers remain elusive, fostering ongoing speculation about the circumstances surrounding his death. The unresolved nature of these questions keeps Howard's legacy intertwined with mystery, prompting continued interest and analysis from all who seek to understand the intricacies of his life and the tragic circumstances of his death. His death not only marked the loss of a talented actor, but also ignited discussions about the political and social climate of the time, as well as the potential motives behind the attack that ended his life. Even today, many continue to analyze the events and explore different theories, reflecting the lasting influence Howard had both on and off the stage. The debate persists about whether his death was purely a random act of violence or part of a larger pattern of wartime espionage and political unrest, adding layers to his complex personal and professional legacy. Although Leslie Howard is best known for his acting talent and memorable performances, his personal life was influenced by close relationships and his ideas about love and romance. Ruth Martin played a key role in his life, providing understanding and support during his career and personal struggles. She often stepped in to help him handle his interactions with fans and admirers, ensuring that his busy and sometimes overwhelming schedule did not lead him into unnecessary complications. Her involvement was important for Howard, who valued her guidance and stability, especially because he sometimes found himself in complicated situations due to his rising fame. At the same time, Howard's romantic philosophy shaped much of his behavior. Despite not considering himself particularly handsome, he was known to have numerous affairs. His approach to love was influenced by his beliefs about romance and connection, which made him pursue relationships beyond simple attraction. His behavior reflected his view that love was more about emotional closeness and understanding rather than appearances or superficial qualities. This mixture of personal support from Ruth Martin and his romantic outlook created a complex picture of Howard, showing a man who valued genuine connections and supported those around him while also engaging actively in romantic pursuits. His attitude toward romance and his supportive friendships contributed to his reputation as a thoughtful and passionate individual, even as his personal life sometimes drew attention or controversy. Throughout his career, these influences from Ruth Martin and his romantic philosophy played a significant role in shaping his life and how he was seen by others, reflecting a man driven by a desire for meaningful relationships and the support of trusted companions. After establishing his career, Leslie Howard became well known for his roles in films, where he often portrayed characters who were disenchanted intellectuals or polite gentlemen. Despite not fitting the typical handsome actor image, his talent and charm made him highly admired by audiences and critics alike. His performances stood out because they brought depth to the characters he played, showing a thoughtful and nuanced approach that resonated with viewers. Over the years, Howard earned a reputation for bringing sophistication and integrity to his roles, which helped him stand apart in the film industry. After his death, Leslie Howard's legacy continued to grow as people looked back on his work. His involvement in propaganda films during difficult times highlighted his political awareness and the importance he placed on using his art for meaningful messages. Even though his films were not always mainstream blockbusters, they gained recognition for their artistic and cultural significance. His unique film roles, often filled with intellectual depth and moral clarity, remain appreciated today. The mystery surrounding his death adds a layer of intrigue to his life story, fueling ongoing interest in his life and career. Many remember him not only for his acting talent, but also for the impact he made through his work and the enduring questions about how he met his end. As we wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating life and career of Leslie Howard, there's one more chapter that truly showcases his talent and charisma and is sure to leave you captivated. Up next, we'll transport you back to 1938 to explore his iconic performance in the film adaptation of George Bernard Shaw's classic play, Pygmalion. This movie isn't just a timeless story of transformation, it's a beautifully crafted piece that blends wit, social commentary, and unforgettable characters. Leslie Howard's portrayal of Professor Henry Higgins is nothing short of legendary, brilliantly capturing the charm, intellectual spark, and complex nuances of Shaw's visionary character. His magnetic screen presence and nuanced delivery breathe life into a story that has fascinated audiences for generations. Get ready for an engaging behind-the-scenes look at how Howard's captivating performance made Pygmalion a cinematic masterpiece, and why it remains a standout in his remarkable career. Stay tuned, because this is a segment you won't want to miss. The 1938 film adaptation of George Bernard Shaw's play Pygmalion stands out as a faithful and worthy rendering of a distinguished theatrical work, capturing much of Shaw's original wit, social commentary, and complex characterizations. The film, directed by Anthony Asquith and adapted with Shaw's own screenplay, was both a critical and financial success in its time, reflecting its strong resonance with audiences and critics alike. It is notable for its thoughtful adherence to the play's themes, notably the critique of social class, the importance of language and speech as markers of identity, and the subtle exploration of feminism and personal independence. The film is set in the early 20th century, with some updates to reflect the 1930s context, although certain costume choices appear somewhat outdated for that period. This temporal shift allows the story to remain relevant, emphasizing the timeless nature of Shaw's themes. One of the film's strengths is its casting, particularly Wendy Hiller as Eliza Doolittle, a portrayal that many consider closer to Shaw's original conception than the more mainstream performances that followed. Hiller's depiction of Eliza as a determined, assertive, and multifaceted character effectively conveys her evolution from a Cockney flower girl subjected to societal scorn to a confident woman asserting her independence. Leslie Howard's portrayal of Henry Higgins is frequently praised as superior to Rex Harrison's later version, with critics noting Howard's more nuanced performance that captures Higgins's intellectual arrogance alongside his underlying vulnerability. Conversely, Harrison's portrayal has faced criticism for being too laid back and lacking the depth needed for this complex character. Despite some minor anachronisms, such as costumes that seem slightly disconnected from the 1930s setting, the film manages to remain engaging and respectful of Shaw's intent. The screenplay, authored by Shaw himself, remains largely true to the original play, although it makes some notable changes. Most significantly, the ending was altered against Shaw's wishes. Instead of Eliza marrying her admirer Freddie Eynsford Hill, the film hints at a romantic tension between her and Higgins through their interactions, suggesting a more ambiguous and possibly romantic relationship. Shaw strongly opposed this modification, as he believed the play's conclusion should affirm Eliza's independence and her choice to forge her own path, which was a point of tension between the playwright's views and the filmmaker's commercial considerations. The film also emphasizes the play's underlying social critique by showcasing Eliza's evolution as a new woman capable of standing up for herself after being patronized or bullied by figures such as her drunken father and Higgins himself. This dimension reflects Shaw's feminist inclinations and his concern with personal emancipation. Interestingly, the film version and later adaptations like My Fair Lady often emphasize romantic elements, which Shaw sought to downplay. For instance, the musical tend to portray Freddie as a more attractive and charismatic figure, leading viewers to expect a romantic pairing with Eliza, yet both versions conclude with her returning to Higgins, maintaining Shaw's original message of independence and self-determination. On the linguistic front, the film pays careful attention to pronunciation details, such as the correct pronunciation of Eynsford, which Shaw himself had insisted upon, setting it apart from some American adaptations. This attention to linguistic accuracy underscores the play's focus on the transformative power of speech and the importance of authentic representation. The film's inclusion of Shaw's own language, notably the explicit profanity "not bloody likely," was groundbreaking and apparently faced no censorship hurdles. This detail adds a layer of realism and conveys the playwright's disdain for pretentiousness and societal hypocrisy. In terms of performances, Wendy Hiller's Eliza is praised for embodying a character closer to Shaw's original vision. Strong, articulate, and self-aware, compared to Audrey Hepburn's more polished and socially refined portrayal in subsequent adaptations. Leslie Howard's Higgins is often regarded as capturing the character's complexity more convincingly than Rex Harrison, whose performance is sometimes criticized for being too effortless and not fully capturing Higgins' fiery intellect and arrogance. Despite its strengths, the film is not without minor flaws. Some costumes and settings seem slightly anachronistic, and the updated period nuances occasionally clash with the more dated aesthetic choices. Nonetheless, the adaptation remains a noteworthy achievement, balancing fidelity to Shaw's sophisticated dialogue and social critique with accessible storytelling for cinema audiences. Overall, Pygmalion is a film that respects its theatrical source while providing a compelling cinematic experience. It illuminates Shaw's witty dialogue and insightful characterizations, making it a significant film adaptation that continues to be appreciated for its integrity and depth. While later versions, especially the musical My Fair Lady, have overshadowed it in popularity, the 1938 film remains a crucial reference point for understanding Shaw's original intentions and the enduring relevance of his work. In conclusion, this adaptation is a commendable and thoughtful interpretation that succeeds in bringing Shaw's play to the screen with respect for its themes and characters, offering a nuanced portrayal that balances social critique, character development, and linguistic authenticity. Its performances, particularly by Hiller and Howard, elevate the material, ensuring the film's place as a noteworthy filmic adaptation of one of Britain's most profound theatrical works. Overall, it earns its high praise and enduring legacy in cinema history. Step into the thrilling world of 1941 with Leslie Howard's charismatic turn in the film Pimpernel Smith, a bold and daring adventure that marries historical intrigue with a dash of daring heroism. Set against the tense backdrop of pre-World War II Europe, the movie puts Howard in the formidable role of Sir Percy Blakeney, the clever, resourceful professor who secretly becomes the legendary Pimpernel to save refugees from Nazi oppression. What makes this film truly captivating is not just its suspenseful plot, but Howard's masterful portrayal of a seemingly mild-mannered academic who secretly wields incredible courage and cunning. Howard's performance is a masterclass in blending charm, wit, and heroism, making Sir Percy a role that invites admiration and intrigue. The film uniquely combines a serious message about resistance and bravery with moments of humor and suspense, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. Its inventive depiction of disguise, secret rescue operations, and clever plotting set it apart from other wartime dramas, offering a mix of nostalgia and adrenaline-pumping action infused with Howard's signature charisma. Pimpernel Smith isn't just a wartime film, it's a celebration of daring defiance in the face of tyranny, brought vividly to life through Leslie Howard's compelling performance. His charisma and passion turn what could have been a simple story into a memorable cinematic experience, leaving audiences inspired and eager for more. This film remains a shining example of Howard's talent and courage, making it a must-watch for anyone fascinated by heroic characters with a cause. Pimpernel Smith is widely regarded as a classic film from the World War II era that continues to resonate with audiences for its compelling storytelling, moral message, and historical significance. Many reviewers praise it for its engaging plot and memorable characters, emphasizing its role as a potent reminder of the atrocities committed during that dark period in history. The film's portrayal of the existence of concentration camps in 1941 serves as a stark reminder of the brutal realities faced by millions, and its themes of bravery and moral courage remain strikingly relevant. One of the standout features highlighted by viewers is the nuanced character development, particularly of Professor Smith, played masterfully by Leslie Howard. Initially depicted as a dedicated academic, his transformation throughout the film into a compassionate and courageous man embodies the heroism that the movie seeks to portray. The progression of the student characters from naive boys to confident young men adds depth to the narrative, illustrating growth and moral awakening amidst perilous circumstances. Ludmilla Ka's role further exemplifies the bravery that can reside even in the most unlikely individuals, highlighting the capacity for courage across genders and social backgrounds. The film is also lauded for its intricate subplots and subtle storytelling techniques, which invite multiple viewings to fully appreciate all the layers and details woven into the narrative. Critics note that the film is richer and more meaningful the more times it is watched, revealing new insights and nuances each time. This complexity adds to its enduring appeal and positions it as a film worth revisiting. However, despite overwhelming praise, some critics and viewers have offered contrasting viewpoints. They argue that the film's plot, while engaging, may occasionally lean on melodramatic tropes or simplistic portrayals of good versus evil, which can diminish the realism of its depiction of wartime horrors. Some feel that the film's emphasis on heroism and moral clarity, although inspiring, may gloss over the complexities and moral ambiguities faced by individuals in such tumultuous times. There are also critiques regarding the theatrical style of some performances, which, while powerful, can sometimes feel dated or overly theatrical to modern audiences. Nevertheless, the general consensus remains that Pimpernel Smith is an important cinematic work that combines entertainment with education, offering valuable lessons about courage, morality, and the importance of standing up against injustice. The film's message of hope and resilience, coupled with its historical insights, makes it a memorable and meaningful watch. It continues to serve as a testament to the power of film to inspire and inform, reminding viewers of the human capacity for kindness and bravery even in the darkest circumstances. In conclusion, Pimpernel Smith is celebrated for its compelling storytelling, deeply developed characters, and its respectful depiction of historical atrocities. While some may find certain elements theatrical or simplistic, its overall impact as an inspirational and educational piece endures. This film remains a significant piece of cinema from the World War II era that encourages multiple viewings and ongoing reflection on the themes it presents. Step back into 1934 with The Scarlet Pimpernel, a daring adventure that captures the French Revolution's chaos through the eyes of one of cinema's most charismatic hero, Leslie Howard. Howard's portrayal of Sir Percy Blakeney, the seemingly oblivious aristocrat who secretly becomes the legendary Scarlet Pimpernel, is nothing short of electric. His charm, wit, and subtle bravery make him both a captivating and complex character, blending comic relief with razor-sharp cunning. What sets this film apart is its masterful blend of suspense and humor, with Howard's impeccable performance turning what could be a straightforward hero story into an intriguing game of disguise, deception, and heroism. His charismatic presence infuses the film with a modern sense of intrigue that still resonates today, the perfect mix of elegance and daring that keeps viewers hooked. In this nostalgic gem, Leslie Howard not only defines the role but elevates it, making The Scarlet Pimpernel a timeless classic that's as fun to watch now as it was almost a century ago. The 1934 film The Scarlet Pimpernel is widely regarded as a delightful classic that has stood the test of time, capturing the imagination of audiences with its blend of adventure, heroism, and subtle social commentary. Celebrated particularly for Leslie Howard's captivating portrayal of Sir Percy Blakeney, the film exemplifies his charm and wit, making his character both endearing and memorable. Howard's performance elevates the film, delivering a balance of humor and gravity that resonates with viewers. The movie's core appeal lies in its engaging premise, a seemingly frivolous aristocrat leading a secret life as a hero who rescues innocent victims from the guillotine during the tumultuous French Revolution. This duality, disguised heroism in plain sight, adds an intriguing layer of suspense and mystery, which many fans find compelling. The storyline is further enriched by the portrayal of Lady Blakeney, played by Merle Oberon, whose character grapples with conflicting emotions as she tries to hold on to her love for her husband, despite doubts about his true identity. Oberon's performance adds emotional depth to the film, giving viewers a glimpse into the personal sacrifices and inner turmoil faced by her character. Supporting performances also contribute to the film's overall quality. Raymond Massey's depiction of the villainous Chauvin adds menace and tension, effectively contrasting the hero's cleverness with the antagonist's ruthlessness. Nigel Bruce's portrayal of the Prince of Wales, while considered somewhat irrelevant or minor by some viewers, offers a touch of comic relief amidst the more serious themes. The film's dialogue and script are often praised for their wit and sharpness, contributing to the film's engaging pace. Regarding its pacing and structure, some critics and viewers note that the beginning of The Scarlet Pimpernel tends to be slow, with the film gradually building to its more exciting and emotionally charged scenes. Once the narrative gains momentum, however, it becomes quite riveting, delivering suspense and drama that hold the audience's attention. The film's treatment of the French Revolution is balanced. It recognizes the atrocities committed by both the aristocracy and the revolutionaries, providing a nuanced perspective that sets it apart from more one-sided or propagandistic portrayals. While many consider it a masterpiece of classic adventure cinema, some viewers do not regard it as flawless. It is often described as having a somewhat leisurely start, which may test the patience of some viewers expecting a non-stop action film. Nevertheless, the overall experience remains satisfying, especially for fans of period dramas and adventure stories with a charismatic lead. In summary, The Scarlet Pimpernel is cherished for Leslie Hower's superb performance, its clever plot, and its enduring themes of heroism and sacrifice. It is appreciated for its mix of humor, suspense, and emotional depth, making it a beloved film for many classic movie enthusiasts. Despite some pacing issues at the outset, the film's compelling narrative and memorable characters have cemented its status as a timeless piece of cinema that continues to resonate with audiences. It is highly recommended for those who enjoy classic adventure films with a touch of heroism and sophistication, and it remains a significant example of early 20th century filmmaking art.